Welcome, Dr. Manish.
Yeah,
And good evening to everyone else, and a very warm welcome to all of you. And we're looking very much forward to this evening's talk and case solving. And we're all very, very excited for the Pune seminar, which will be happening on 12th and 13th of April, which all of you have registered for. So we're very, very excited to meet you all and discuss the latest works of Dr. Sankaran, especially the five-finger approach in homeopathy. And so we had come up with this idea of these seminars to keep you engaged and to give you like a little bit of a taste and to see the importance of what we will be doing at Pune and how it is helping people and how it is, upgrading our practice and making practice easier. So we have Dr. Sankaran here with us tonight. And we are honored to have Dr. Manish Jagpal from Ludhiana, who's been a student of Dr. Sankaran for many years and a well-known teacher and practitioner of homeopathy. And tonight he will be sharing one of his cases from his practice. And he will also show, the advantages of the five-finger method and how it makes case solving that much easier and the application of homeopathy so much simpler. So I won't take up too much more time. So I'll ask Dr. Manish, everyone we've shared your case ahead of time with everyone, and we've asked people to solve it and work on it. So I think the majority will be familiar, but you can take it from here. And thank you, Dr. Manish. I'd like to hand over to you.
thank you, Kyle. So my big gratitude to Sir for, sharing, for letting me share this. This is a big opportunity for me, and I would like to start with the case. Just a second. Can you, sharing is not turned on. Can you send me the request to allow sharing? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. So this is a very interesting case, old case of a good friend of mine. He was having this very bad psoriasis, especially on face. He was having lot of flaking, lot of itching. All of his skin was almost turned whitish gray. And what he complains is that itching becomes very uncontrolled, especially in winters. Also, he says that I cannot either tolerate heat or the cold weather, both. But the main thing that he was expressing is that there is a stretch that I feel in my skin. And with this stretch, he feels that his skin becomes very tight and stiff. What he said is that he need to keep it supplied constantly with the moisturizer and cream. If he is not supplying this moisturizer, it will become very tight. And when I asked him to explain this tightness, what he said was that he started using his hand gestures, that the stiffness feels like it will tear because the skin is becoming shorter and shorter and it is getting stretched because of that shortness. The stretch is not happening outwards, it is happening inwards, and that is leading to the problem. And it keeps getting stretched when it keeps getting dry, and the feeling is that my whole body feels that as if it is caught in a very tight cocoon. And the opposite happens when I supply it with oil or moisturizer. The shrinkage and the contraction becomes expanded and it becomes relaxed. This was the main crux of his complaint with the skin. Another area of his life was his relationship with his father, which was not very good. He felt he was being dominated by him, controlled by him since very early childhood. And because of this, his experience of when he's present in front of his father is very interesting, that it's very hard for him to stay along with him in the same room. He feels I am not able to express myself. I feel limited, and I feel that he starts to become larger and larger and larger, and as if his whole body is expanding, and I am becoming smaller and smaller, and I am shrinking. And I want to get away from his presence, but he's my father. I can't just disrespect and go out of the room. So I have to stay there and feel this. Another, aspect of the case came through when his wife expressed that he feels he's always right. The relationship with the wife is also not very good. And she feels that any kind of criticism given to him is not accepted by him, and especially by his father. But as a friend, I also know that their relationship was not very good. And she says that he's not very good at, you know, handling this criticism because he takes it on his ego. And now I ask him, in these kinds of situations, what do you do? And he says that he's, part of a association where people meditate a lot, and he meditates to control his anger. And how he meditates is also very interesting because music plays a major role. He loves to listen to music, and his favorite music is the music with fusion drums, like the Sivamani, Zakir Hussain, and these are the kind of albums he liked. He particularly referred one album as Space Soundscapes by Zakir Hussain. And his deeper experience of this music was that when he closes his eyes, he goes deep into the space between the planets in the solar system and other stars. He feels he get merged with all this, and also at the same time he feels that he becomes so small that as he's nothing, like a just as like a small stone, a small pebble in the such a vast cosmos. And this makes him realize somewhere that I know, he says, I know I am nothing. This is a very profound experience for me, but practically for me, it is very tough to give away my righteousness. So, this is the whole case that I believe is there already with everyone. I would like to share the analysis of this case. If we divide all this into, just simple patterns, one is skin. What did we observe in skin? That skin is shrinking and becoming shorter. And along with the hand gesture, this came very strongly, as if caught in a very tight cocoon. And the opposite of that is happening when he is applying moisture, that it is expanding and the skin is becoming relaxed. His relationship with his father, that situation, father is becoming larger and he is becoming smaller. With the music, he is merging and expanding into the whole universe, and also has become very small and shrunk like a small stone in the cosmos. So as Sir is guiding us with this new methodology that is called as five-finger method, the first is the superclass. How to differentiate that? I believe Sir will elaborate a lot more on that in the Pune seminar, but just to give you a glimpse, if we need to find the remedy, we need to find to which kingdom, which family, which row, or which sub kingdom that remedy belongs to. To find that, we need to have a particular system. So this system is like On the planet Earth, we need to see which continent we are looking at, and then which country we are looking at, and then which city, and then which particular room, and the further we can go up to the which particular drawer we are looking at. In the same way, the superclass chart has been made, which explains the superclass of all the kingdoms: animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, nosodes, sarcodes, and other drugs. So we can see there are 6 superclass. And this particular patient is expressing what? Shrinking and expanding and becoming large and becoming smaller, becoming limited and unlimited. He is not able to express himself in front of his father. We can see the physical, the mental, the vital sensation of this patient is all third superclass, that is becoming limited and expanded. We can see that. Now the question comes, to which kingdom he belongs to. So there is no versus in this case that somebody is affecting me, somebody is doing something to me. We also cannot see that I am lacking something or losing something, or I want to attain something like a mineral kingdom. It is that there is a happening outside, a father comes in front of him and he starts getting affected by this outside phenomena. This is very surely a plant kingdom. And in plant kingdom, if we see third superclass, we have caryophyllid. The whole third superclass, the subclass of the plant, as we understand that. And the whole theme of this is to stay in limit or to spread your wings. Also, after repertorizing main physical symptoms of this case, we can see cactaceae is coming, which is belonging to this particular family, Caryophyllaceae. But is this patient cactus? To understand that, we need to also see that how he is responding to this contraction and expansion is that he actually wants to control. He controls his anger, he controls his itching, he controls his ego. So that refers to cancer miasm remedy belonging to cactaceae is called anhelonium. And now let us do it even, looking from all other sides of the homeopathic phenomena, that is called, the first is superclass. We are sure that this remedy belongs to third superclass. We are sure that the family we are looking at is Caryophyllaceae and Cactaceae. We are sure that the miasm is cancer because he is trying to control every situation. And there is issue of big ego, merging of self with the universe, which is a very important part of this remedy and halonium. And we can see very interesting rubrics like imagination, the objects are getting enlarged, and the opposite rubric as well, the objects are getting diminished, and imagination, he is becoming mingled with the eternity. So interesting. He sees faces on closing eyes. Imagination, he is becoming smaller. We have more rubrics about stating about the ego of this remedy and the patient as well. That he feels that he is very intelligent, that he feels that he is very much better than others, contemptuous, egotism, self-esteem. And this is the main theme of this remedy, as sir will explain in much better way. And also the kind of music he loves to listen to. The drum produces euphoria and the music ameliorate. So hence we can understand with all these, 5 angles, from 5 angles we are looking at the same remedy. There is no doubt in, recovery of the patient. So this person is 45 years old now and he is 95% better. I don't have the before pictures, but I will share the recent follow-up that I recorded of this guy. And there are subtitles. Please read carefully and understand because the language is in Punjabi. Kyle, is my video visible?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah.
ਸਕਿਨ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ
So he's telling about the past, and you see now also his hand moved, and I asked him to elaborate that.
ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਸਕਿਨ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਹੈਗੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਲੇਕਸ ਬੰਨੇ ਸਕਿਨ ਡਰਾਈ ਹੋਣੀ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਫੀਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਡਰਾਈਨੈਸ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਵੀ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਹੈ ਸਕਿਨ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਲੇਕਸ ਬਣਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਐ ਸਕਿਨ ਖਿੱਚੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਆਪਸ 'ਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਖਿੱਚੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਈਚਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਅਗਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਫਲੇਕ ਨੂੰ ਹਟਾਣਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ 'ਚੋਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਨਿਕਲਣਾ ਜਲਨ ਵੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਸਕਿਨ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਜੋ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਜੈਸੇ
If you observed, he moved when his hand was on his knee, he moved his hand like that. I'm telling him to explain that little bit more.
ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਕਿਨ ਬਸ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਚ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ
Watch his hands.
ਉਹ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਚ ਵੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋਈ ਏਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਈ ਉਹ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਏਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਚ ਹੋਈ ਉਹ ਏਦਾਂ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਚ ਹੋਈ
So it's becoming smaller, not bigger. It's shrinking. It's not expanding.
Separation to baad.
So I asked about the family situation now, which was very terrible. His relationship with his wife was so bad, with his parents, especially with father, was so bad. So what he says about it now.
ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਕਿਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਘਰਦਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖ ਮੇਰੀ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਿਲਪੀ ਦਾ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੈਟਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ
ਬਹੁਤ
16-17 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਚ ਸੀਗਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ before leaving and after leaving ਤੇਰੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਪਾਪਾ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਕੁਝ ਚੇਂਜ ਆਈ ਹੈ ਕੁਝ ਸ਼ਿਫਟ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤਾਂ ਆਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਫੋਨ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਦੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਮੈਂ
So a person in his life whose presence he was not able to bear, now he talks to his father, he spends time with, he will tell more about it.
ਉਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਐਨੀਵਰਸਰੀ ਸੀਗੀ 11 ਚ ਡਿਨਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੇਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਉੱਧਰ ਮੰਮੀ ਪਾਪਾ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਤੇ ਜਰਨਲੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵਾ ਇਹ ਸਾੜਾ ਪਾਉਗੀ ਸਾੜਾ ਪਾਉਗੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਆਪਕਾ ਮਨ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਸ ਪਰ पूछने वाली बात है
Now he wants to meet his parents more often. That's the deeper healing a remedy can provide.
देख लो फिर मैं बड़ा आराम है मैं अच्छा मंगी फिर केक वगैरह कटे हम पापा को बैठे 10 मिनट वो भी बड़े खुश होए तन की लगता है ओवरऑल कितनी इंप्रूवमेंट है 7 to 80% हैगी है वेरी गुड ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ 100% ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ definitely
Okay, he says that 70 to 80%, but if you will see his pictures, there is a significant improvement. I would imagine, I know him, there was no single spot on his skin that was not purely white or silverish. So this is an amazing follow-up. And thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. It all belongs to you. it's all because of you, whatever we have learned from you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Dr. Manish, for sharing with us. The whole point of the seminar and these sessions as well is to make it more accessible to others and see other people practicing it as well. Not just Dr. Sankaran, we learn from him, but we also want to do it ourselves and see other people do it. So it's really wonderful to see this from you. Thank you so much. And with that, I would also then like Dr. Piyush. Dr. Piyush is also there. We've been arranging these seminars, these sessions. Dr. Piyush is very involved in this and trying to see how we can make this more interactive. So it would be great to hear from you, Dr. Piyush, just a little bit about the whole goal here, what you're doing, etc.
Hi, my dear friends. Good evening. So, thanks to Dr. Manish for this wonderful case. And uh, we had posted this case to you almost a day prior. And we are so glad that we received so many analyses from our partner friends. The whole purpose of doing all these exercises is that we do not want it just to be a seminar of 2 days. We want it to be a kickstart of your homeopathic level up journey. And I'll just share a few, teachings, you can say in brief, what I concluded from your cases, from your analysis that you have sent to me. I must mention that there are 3 people who reached so close to the family Cactaceae. It's Dr. Maya, Dr. Yasmin, and Dr. Vismay. You reached to very correct analysis, but you parted ways. You reached to the Cactaceae, but you parted ways somewhere at the miasm or somewhere at the characteristics. This is the point where the 5-finger method comes in, that you see that in every case, all the 5 fingers have to fall in place. Even if you go from the characteristics of the drums, you'll reach anhelonium. If you go from the miasmatic perspective, you'll go to the anhelonium again. And if you go from the 5 fingers, you are more than 100% sure that this case has to recover. Another good analysis by Dr. Kaushalya. You reached at 3 remedies. It's very good that you didn't quite decide that I'll go with any one remedies. It was very good to see that you are at 3 and you say that I'm not going further. Good. At the same step, look at the PQRS characteristics, drums in this case, the music, the euphoria that it produces, and you'll reach at the remedy. At the same point, some friends took tightness as a very important thing in the case, and they reached to anacardiaceae or such remedies. But we must be knowing that sensation is independent of, sensation is global in the case, but this tightness was coming only at the level of the skin. And this tightness is common to the psoriasis patient. So we'll not give that much of weightage. This is something that I would like to add here. And for some of our friends who took domination as the key thing, reaching to the remedy carcinosin or Staphylococcus or Ignatia somewhere, this is good. But that cancer miasm was that control, that was one part of the case. We have to see the whole case in its totality. This is where, if you read the Sir's books, he says you go off tangent on a single thing, which we are not supposed to do. And this is maybe a good learning for you from this case. And also, the situation of domination was there, but we have to see how does the patient, the person, experience that time within him when the domination is there. Domination is the objective reality, but how does the subject feel in that is your level 5 information in the case, and that directs you to the right remedy. And some of our friends tried to complete the location sensation modality concomitant in the case, but honestly, in such cases of psoriasis, cases of PCOD, you do not get so much physical symptoms so that you can complete a totality. And the analysis that you sent, the C concomitants is already missing. That particular concomitants may be the mental states, aphorism 211. And so this was some things from the analysis that I come up to from the analysis that you have sent to me. Also, I would suggest that now that you know the right remedy and you have seen that it has worked so well, after this seminar is over, you reflect upon your analysis, your understandings about the case, and what actually came up. This will kind of create a transformation within you that will seep down under you. And with this, and yeah, must mention that we have one correct analysis from Dr. Nisha, and I'll ask Dr. Nisha to talk about her analysis now, and I'll wait for what your learnings were from the session of today, the case of today. And even if you have queries going further, they are also welcome. We'll be happy to answer that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Piyush. And first of all, I must say that many congratulations to Dr. Manish for nice case receiving and case analysis. As Dr. Manish has explained in detail, so I will just brief my analysis that I have learned 5-finger method from Sankaran sir during my Gurukul course, and it helps classify all the information and do the analysis systematically. So we'll go by this method. So first finger is superclass. And we can see the patient uses many sensations like shrink, shorten, contraction, smaller, trapped, and the opposites are expands, larger, stretched. So this is indicating superclass 3. The main theme is bigger versus smaller. Then next finger is about kingdom and subkingdom. So we can see that patient is very sensitive to something and reacts to it. Like he cannot tolerate criticism and he reacts to it. And another indicator is that we found two opposite sensations in skin complaint, in relationship with the father, also in the meditation experience. So in many areas, we could see the same sensation and its opposite coming up frequently. So this is indicating the plant kingdom. Now, which subkingdom? So as we have discussed that the main theme is smaller versus bigger, contraction versus expansion. So it is indicating the Cactaceae family. Now about the miasm. So I found a subtle hint about Cancer miasm that he cannot control anger. He cannot control the anger, so he's doing meditation. Another fourth finger is about characteristic. So here, as Dr. Piyush said, that mind state is more characteristic than the physical symptoms. So I took 4 symptoms as characteristics. One is music desire for drum. Another is patient is egoistic, and the main sphere of action of the remedy should be on skin, which produces dryness. Fifth, our last finger is about source. So I have read about all the remedies from Cactaceae family from Sankaran sir's book, that is Plant Kingdom, and I have found in Anhelunium, which is Cactaceae family with Cancer miasm, it is written that his spiritual experience during meditation, he says that he feels merging with one's surroundings or the feeling of being one with the whole of existence, seeing oneself without any boundaries. He feels he's nothing, he's immaterial. So I have taken 3 rubrics: mind, merging of self with one's environment. Another one is mind, confusion of mind identity as to his depersonalization, and mind delusion, imagination, immaterial he is. Another rubrics are there about enlargement and smaller, but it indicates the Cactaceae family, so I didn't consider them. So my suggestion would be Anhelonium 1M. 1M because the delusions are very strong. So it is the level of experience would be level 4. So this analysis, this case is a very good example where we just need this kingdom approach. Without this approach, I feel that it would be very much difficult to solve this case and help our patient. And what happens after case taking is that we just consider one aspect. Like Dr. Piyush said, some of our friends consider the few aspect like domination and get to the remedy cancer, carcinosin. So it happens in our practice that we couldn't see the whole every aspect of the patient, and just we get to the wrong remedy. So this method of 5 finger, it is very much effective, and by using this method, we cannot drop any aspect, or we cannot ignore any aspect which we even don't know. So in many cases, in my own practice, almost every day I experience that how useful this method is. It's very much needed. And I have also learned wise process in the Gurukul, and it's also very much beneficial in the practice. So I have learned a lot from Sankaran sir, and I believe that you will also learn a lot from him during this seminar. So I just wish you all the very best to everyone. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Dr. Nisha, for sharing with us. A great example of what happens, when you apply yourself and, really go through all the steps of, structured learning. And to see we've seen in other areas as well, you're often coming to the remedy, etc., through this structured process, 5 fingers, etc. So great to see. Lovely. Yeah. So I think with that, we all have understood, we got to see a really lovely case and understand a little bit more about the method, and and also see how helpful it is, and to see the impact that homeopathy works. You could see the difference in the patient and how it's changed his whole life, not just pathologically, but also just in all aspects. And this is really our goal and what we want to get across to you with the seminar and this work. So following that, I would then like to ask Dr. Sankaran to share a few words about this and the seminar coming up, and any thoughts from him.
Yeah, so welcome everybody, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the seminar next month. What is the idea of the seminar, and what is it that we are trying to do? This is what I want to say a few words. So first of all, you see that there are many types of homeopathy. So there will be people who will tell you this remedy is good for psoriasis, this remedy is good for skin, this remedy is good for this or that. And they'll also tell you, if this remedy doesn't work, then you give some intercurrent remedy, some nosodes, or give some other biochemic medicines, or give some other mother tinctures, or apply this or do that. And I want to share with all of you, my dear friends, that after 43 years of practice, now I'm the 44th year in practice, I can tell you that for the past 200 years, it is only classical homeopathy that has stood the test of time. And the very idea of homeopathy, as different from modern medicine, is that we treat the person and not the disease. That is our strength. That is our advantage. Because allopaths, by treating the local problem, can only give short-term results. When we try to imitate them and say this is good for skin and this is good for psoriasis and this is good for cancer and this is good for arthritis, what are we doing? We are just imitating where they failed. Because we know that disease is not the skin, it is not the arthritis, it is not the joint, it is not the cancer, it is the state of the individual that produces these effects. This is what modern medicine is also saying, that disease is psychosomatic, that disease is stress related, that disease is nature related. Every disease, autoimmune disease, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, everything is related to the whole person, to the stress issues. So therefore, what I'm trying to tell you is that do not get confused, do not get diverted by people who give you shortcuts. Try this, try that. I tell you this will work 100%. Nothing will work 100%. I can tell you after a lot of experience. Nothing shortcut will work 100%. It may work in one out of so many cases. But if you want consistent, repetitive, predictable results, the only method that has stood the test of time is classical homeopathy, individualized homeopathy, holistic homeopathy. And if you want to understand it, there are many approaches within classical homeopathy. You have a repertorial approach, materia medica approach, sensation approach. You have so many schools of classical homeopathy, like there are gharanas of classical music. It's not a problem which school you follow, but do practice single remedy, individualized homeopathy. Now, what is the advantage of the five-finger method is that it is comprehensive. That means it is inclusive of everything. It is inclusive of repertory. It is inclusive of materia medica. It is inclusive of source language. It is inclusive of sensation, of kingdoms, of miasms. And now I have worked on this for last so many, at least 30, 40 years. I have worked to develop this system. And I can tell you in the last 3 to 4 years, we have come to a point where this system can be easily taught and reproduced with great accuracy. For the first time, I feel I am able to convey the idea to anybody, just like now Dr. Manish has presented this case. See how easily it can be understood. He's talking so clearly. The patient, now, very important is that what he said, very important, at the level of the skin, he has psoriasis, but what is his experience? Shrinking and expanding. He has a bad relation with his father. But what is his experience? Shrinking and expanding. He meditates. What is his experience? Expanding, expanding, expanding to the whole universe. So what is the idea here? The idea is not what is the problem, not what is the situation, not what is the stress, but what is the individual's experience of it. This experience of the individual can be put into superclass, into kingdom, or into miasm. These are the three aspects of an experience. The superclass is the dynamic, the kingdom is the sensitivity, and the miasm is the speed or the pace. So the person's experience can be understood in these three aspects. And then comes the characteristics, and then comes the keynotes or the source qualities. If you match this and this, you have a very, very reliable prescription. I am not saying that this will not fail. It will fail sometimes, but the chances of failure are far, far, far less, and the chances of success far, far, far more than trying this, trying that specific, trying this no so, trying this. My God. And then when this matches, what is also interesting is you have examined all the aspects of the case, and therefore your confidence level is very high. And what does that do? you will stay with the remedy. I have seen homeopaths prescribe the correct remedy and change it next week because they had no confidence. Because the patient said something else, they changed the remedy. Because they did not match it completely. So they had no faith in their own prescription. So when you do this, you have faith, you stay. Many times when patients come from other homeopaths and they have not got better, I give the same remedy which somebody else had given. Nothing new sometimes. And that works because I stay with it. Why? Because I have matched all the aspects and I'm sure. Even if patient doesn't improve for 2 months, I will still stay with it. And patient will get better. So these are the things, and I'm very glad that Dr. Piyush has taken the initiative to do a pre-seminar webinar. We are going to do 2 or maybe even 3, then the seminar, and post-seminar we are going to do follow-up. So that the seminar is not just a one-time exposure, but a whole learning curve. And then we are going to show you all the resources, all the possibilities where you can learn further, whether it is books or it is courses or it is webinars or master class or Gurukul. Depends on where you are and what you want to do. You will get, and if you study, so all these students, Nisha is there, Piyush is there, Manish is there, they are all students of the Gurukul. And that's why they are able to come up very often to the right spot. It's only learning, nothing more than that. Everything you comes when you learn systematically. So we are going to help you with that also. But first we want to show you the right direction, and then we want to inspire you to tell you what homeopathy can do. It can not only heal the skin or the joint, it can heal the person, it can heal relationships, it can make your life better. That is the potential of homeopathy. And to use it to treat a skin problem or a wart by applying thuja on the skin and putting thuja inside the mouth and say, I hope the wart goes away. It is like taking a Kohinoor diamond and using it like a paperweight because you didn't understand its value and what it can do. So this is what I wanted to share with you. And I think that we are really looking forward to meeting you, helping you, guiding you, and sharing with you this message. My dear friends, the message is simple. The real homeopathy of Hahnemann, of Kent, the classical Bonninghausen, Boger, these are what has stood test of time. Don't get uh, diverted by people who tell you do this, do that, give this, give that, this is good for cancer, this is good for arthritis, this is good for kidney, this is good for liver, and this is it will never fail. Yeah, it will never fail, it will never succeed also. Don't worry. So stay with classical homeopathy, stay with the real homeopathy, stay with your belief that what you are treating is the person, what you are treating is the state, not the pathology, and the pathology will improve. This is the message I want to share with you. And to treat the person, to treat the state, these are the 5 aspects we have to look at, and we have to study each of them. And when we do that, there will be good results in your practice. Definitely there'll be failures, but then you will learn how to deal with that and make it into success. Yes, Piyush, this is all from me.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Dr. Manish's case and the correct analysis by Dr. Nisha and close analysis by other friends of ours following this systematic approach. I can't share all the analysis with you, but the closer the person is, the more systematic approach they are following is visible from the kind of analysis they have shared with us. So I hope it was a good learning experience for you, but it's not just my opinion. Sir always says that if you want to know something, ask it directly. So we'll look forward to your learnings, your queries, your everything. And this is not just a seminar. It's, again, I'll emphasize, it's beginning of the journey to the excellence in homeopathy. So I'll suggest that you invite more friends of yours, anybody whom you want to, see doing good results in homeopathy within the last couple of years with the Gurukul program and the teachings with TOSY. We have seen tremendous, upgradation in our results and everything, and we want to replicate the same to you. We want to share the same with you, and see you in the next whatsoever event we plan. Our next event is not pre-planned. It will be based on whatever you give us as a feedback. What your demands originate, we'll craft it according to that. So I look forward to your mails, and I think we are done for the day, sir.
Yeah, just a reminder to everyone as well that we have the next webinar on the 11th of March. So we look forward to seeing you all there. And as Piyush had mentioned, that any questions or queries or things that you want addressed, you're most welcome to send us, and we can shape things. And because we want to make this a very sort of customized experience, where it actually helps you. It's not just about showing you a magnificent case and then going away and leaving you alone, but it's being there with you and helping you to be better. So definitely share with us. Let us know what doubts you're having, what problems you're having, and we will do our best to help you leading up to the seminar. And then we'll see also after the seminar as well. So definitely on the 11th, we'll have the next session. And if you enjoyed this pre-seminar session, we see in the chat that many people think that it's a good idea. Definitely take advantage, come to the next one, bring your friends, get everyone that because it also helps when you have other people to work with and discuss the 5 fingers and all these things. It helps when you have a big group around you. So yeah, I think that's all from us from tonight, but we'll see you all soon, and be in contact with all of us. And thanks again to our speakers, Dr. Manish for that excellent case, Nisha for sharing your insight and your experience. That was great. And thank you, Dr. Sankaran, as well. And thank you, Dr. Piyush.
Yeah. One more thing, Kyle,
Yeah.
I have this feeling that Pune is a special place where jokes of sir go to the next level. In between the education, we get very good jokes from sir as well.
It's
Thank
a
you.
holistic seminar. Yes, very much. Yeah. All right.
Okay then. Bye bye.
So thanks everyone, and good night.